Hey there, Carpooling with Jesus family. Welcome to another week. Imagine this. What if Jesus was riding along with you on your way to school? What kind of stories would he share? What advice would he give as you're starting off your day? I'm Pastor Justin, and today we're going to talk about something really cool, how God takes care of us when we're humble. Let's explore this together as we open up the Bible and learn something new and understand just how amazing it is to trust God and be humble. Let's check out 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, so that he may exalt you at the proper time. Now you might be wondering, who's writing this? And who's he writing to? Well, the author of this verse is Peter, one of Jesus' closest disciples. Jesus was a fisherman who Jesus had called to follow him. He was part of Jesus' inner circle, along with James and John, and saw Jesus do amazing miracles. But Peter wasn't perfect. He had moments where he struggled with faith and even denied Jesus at one point. But later, Jesus forgave him, and Peter became a strong leader in the early church. Peter wrote this letter to Christians who were facing tough times. They were scattered across different places and were going through persecution and hardships for following Jesus. So Peter wrote to encourage them to stay strong in their faith and to remind them to be humble, trusting that God was with them and would help them in his perfect timing. So when Peter says, humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, he's telling these Christians that even when things are tough, they can trust God has everything under control. Whew, doesn't that feel good? Because he's writing that to us too. Even when things get hard at school, at practice, even at home, God is so powerful. He's the one with the mighty hand. And when we humble ourselves, he lifts us up when the time is right. Let me break it down even further. Humility means not thinking you're better than others or trying to make everything about you. Instead, it's about thinking of others first and trusting that God knows what's best for you. When we are humble, God takes care of us, guiding us through tough situations and lifting us up when we need it the most. It might not always happen the way we expect, but God always comes through at the right time. Picture this. Maybe you're at school and you worked really hard on a project, but a friend got all the attention for their project instead of yours. It might be tempting to feel upset or frustrated, but here's where humility comes in. Instead of focusing on all the things that didn't go your way, you trust that God has a plan. It might not be when we expect it, but God's timing is always better than ours. Let's say you helped a classmate with their homework, and you didn't get any praise for it. Instead of feeling disappointment, you choose humility and trust that God sees your work. When the time is right, God will reward you, even if no one else noticed. It's not about getting praise from people, but trusting that God knows your heart and will lift you up when he knows it's the right moment. How can we put this into action? Think about times when you might be tempted to get upset because things didn't go your way. Whether it's at school, with your friends, or at home, instead of letting frustration take over, choose humility. Trust that God has a plan for you and he will take care of you at just the right time. This week, let's practice those two things, trusting God with our worries and humbling ourselves in tough situations. When you do that, we can be sure that God will lift us up at the right moment. Remember, no matter where you are or how you're listening, God loves you. I can't wait to see you tomorrow for another episode of Carpooling with Jesus. Parents, if you love this podcast, send it to someone right now so that they can have faith-filled moments in their car rides too. Here's today's question. Talk about it together before you get out of the car. Can you think of a time you humbled yourself, like letting someone else have the attention or the credit? instead of you. Have a great day at school. See you tomorrow.